these packages, is any of it going to have to be resolved before it's combined into one bill and put on the floor? Can you do that without any changes?
Yeah, we could package it all together. If you watch what we did with the Lower Energy Costs Act, it's probably a good model for how we're handling this. There were almost 20 different bills on what ultimately became H.R. 1. So what we did is take all the different pieces that came out of multiple committees, all dealing with lowering energy costs, and then put them into one package, H.R. 1, and you put them in different titles based on which piece they're addressing of that. Here in this case, all fall under the category of border security, but 3 different committees with a number of different bills addressing all of these different problems, and so we'll pull them all together into one piece of legislation. Yes, ma'am.
Thomas Massey voted against the Judiciary Committee bill because of the e-verify language. I think other members of Dan Newhouse have questions about that piece. Are you having conversations with them, and do you anticipate it's going to change?
In fact, I talked to Dan Newhouse again this morning about that. We're continuing to have conversations with our members. And a lot of the members have been watching how all the pieces have been coming together. And again, those who are the most passionate about this, that have some of their own ideas, have been working with us, coming into some of these meetings. And then ultimately, you work through those issues, and then we'll bring the package to the floor.
Do you plan on having a line of communication with either the administration or red state senators so that this, or should I say, red state Democrat senators, in order to get this passed?
Something tells me they're going to be hearing about it from their constituents. We all have been heeding the calls from all of our constituents. This is not just an issue that involves border state members. As we've seen and pointed out for over a year and a half now, because of what Joe Biden did to open up our border and not just create this crisis in states like Texas, but then to have other groups literally at dark of night shipping people to every state in America. Every state is now a border state. And we don't know how bad the problem is because they're hiding these facts from the American people. Every one of you should be asking the White House, will you give us a number of how many people have come across illegally, and where have you sent them? They're being sent somewhere. In many cases, and it's been reported, at dark of night, they were having a committee hearing until 3 o'clock in the morning. Every night our border security is at the border at 3 o'clock in the morning and every other hour. But then they put them on buses, on trains, on planes, and nobody knows where they go. And so every elected official's heard about this problem. The problem is some of those elected officials have put their head in the sand for far too long. They're not going to be able to hide from this anymore because there will be a vote on the House floor where every member of Congress, Republican, Democrat, will have to take a side. Are you going to side with people who are sick and tired of watching 300 young people die every single day? Or are you going to do something about it like we are? And shame on them if they hide from this problem any longer.